What's going on, everybody? DV. Me and my TV hope everybody's having a bomb-ass day. Now, if you clicked on this video, that's because you are about to start tracking doing HPDE events, or in other words, track days. And this will be one of the best videos you can click on, and I'm not just saying that simply because I'm the one making it. But for a lot of people out there, when you go to your first track day, it's something like starting your first day at a new job or your first day at school. Everybody remembers that feeling when you're going to a new place where you don't know anybody, you're unfamiliar, you're sitting there trying to figure everything out. So what I'm going to do in this video is give you guys a guide to exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and exactly how your first track day is going to go. So without further ado, let's start with number one. Now, one of the most important but often overlooked aspects of tracking is your attire. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that you got to go there dressed to the nines wearing Louis and Gucci, no. But the most important thing to keep in mind is depending on where you live in the country, the temperatures could be anywhere from 70 degrees all the way up to triple digits. And the last thing you want to be is in your car wearing heavy clothing in a 100-degree temperature with the windows down and no air conditioning, getting some heat exhaustion or suffering from dehydration, because the last thing you want to do is lose focus when you're on the track. So when you go to a track day, it's always best to wear light, breathable fabric. And to give you an idea, when I do my track days, I'm either wearing some really light exercise pants and, of course, some exercise shirts. Why? Because they're light and they're breathable. So when I'm on the track with the windows down, that air directly hits my body and keeps me cool. So one of the most important things to remember when you guys start tracking is wear light, breathable fabric to keep yourself cool when you're on the track. Now, of course, once you get there, the first thing you're going to have to do is find a place to park. Now, please keep in mind, wherever it is you decide to park your car, this is going to be your parking spot for the entire duration of the track day. You can't park in one spot in the morning, get tired of sitting there, then try to find another spot. Because chances are, if you find an open spot, that spot belongs to somebody on the track. And when that person comes off the track and wants his or her parking space back, trust me, they're going to get it back. And the same thing happens if you were on the track and someone parks in your parking spot. All you have to do is walk up to that person like, hey man, this is my spot. I just came back from the track. 99% of the time, that person will be like, okay man, cool, and move out of your spot and give you your spot back. So please keep in mind, wherever you park at, this will be the place that you park at for the entire duration of the track day. Now, once you're done finding your parking space, the next thing you want to do is find wherever your event host wants you to check in at. Once you find that spot, bring your helmet and your completed track inspection sheet. Now, please keep in mind, if your inspection sheet is not properly completed or properly filled out, they are not going to allow you to check in. So before you get there, scan over that piece of paper, make sure everything is good. Once you find the spot where they're supposed to check in at, take your helmet and your inspection sheet over there. They're going to go ahead and check your helmet to make sure it's an approved helmet, make sure your inspection sheet is actually good to go. Then they're going to give you three things. The first thing they'll probably give you is this right here. Now, this will be an itinerary, and as you can see, like I have right here, I have it around my neck. And for everybody out there, when you get this, keep it around your neck. Don't put it in your pocket, don't put it around your arm, because chances are it could fall off. And what this thing will tell you is everything, when, where, and exactly everything is going down. So no one has to wonder where they need to be or where they need to go or when their session is actually going to go down. The other two things they're going to give you is a driver's side window sticker and, of course, a wristband. Once they give you all those three things, come back to your car. Now, once you put this little itinerary around your neck, go ahead and take your run group sticker and stick it right here on the left-hand side of your driver's side window. Why? We'll get to that in a second. Once you go ahead and put that on your windshield, take your wristband and put it on your left arm. Do not put it on your right arm. Why? Well, the reason why you want to put your run group sticker on the left side of your windshield and your little wristband on your left arm is because when you're going out on the track in the staging area, the track workers will be on the left-hand side of your car. And as you're driving by, they're going to glance at your windshield just to make sure you're in the proper run group. You're going to have to stick your left arm out the window to verify that you're actually in the right run group and you're actually supposed to be out there in the driver's seat. If you stick it in your right arm, it will be kind of difficult to show people that when you're going on the track. So please keep in mind, like I said, keep your itinerary around your neck, put your run group sticker on the left-hand side of your windshield and your wristband on your left wrist. Now, once you're done putting your wristband on and your run group sticker on your car, the next thing you want to do is go ahead and put your car numbers on your car. Now, if you paid the $15 or $20 from your event host to actually have them bring you your car numbers, you're going to want to stick them on the left door panel, on the right door panel, right in the middle. But if you're a cheap like I do, you don't want to spend $20 for something you're only going to use once. The best thing you can do is go to Home Depot or Walmart, whatever, and buy you a small roll of blue painter's tape. Why? Because this is the same roll I had ever since I started tracking 3 years ago. And depending on how often you track or autocross, this thing will last you anywhere from a decade to the rest of your life, and you're only going to spend $3 for it. And if you make your numbers out of the blue painter's tape, make sure they are big, make sure they are bold, make sure they are legible. Why? Because we'll get to that in a second. Now, once you're done putting the numbers on your car, what you're going to want to do now is take your torque wrench or your four-way and go around your car to each lug nut, making sure each one of them are snug, tight, and torqued to spec. Once you're done with that, get out your air gauge and set your air pressure to whatever temperature your car and your tire setup requires. Once you're done with that, you're pretty much free to do whatever you want to do for, depending on when you got there, for the next half an hour or an hour or whatever the case may be. But once you're all done with that, the next thing that comes is the driver meeting. Now, for all those people who are starting to track for the very first time or maybe have just finished their first event, I highly advise and highly recommend that you pay attention to everything that's being said during the driver meeting, because in the driver meeting, they're going to lay out everything that goes down, when it goes down, where it goes down, and who it goes down with. They're going to teach you about the flags. Now, there's like 15, 20 flags. I'm not going to go through all of them here, but there are plenty of them. But one flag you need to pay attention to is, remember when I said a couple of minutes ago that you want your letters to be big, bold, and legible? The reason why that is, if there's something wrong with your car, or if you're something that you did wrong, they're going to have a flag with your car number on it pointing at you, telling you to go ahead and pit because something may be wrong with your car. You may have done something wrong. So as I said before, make sure your car numbers are big, bold, and legible, because in the driver meeting, they're going to lay out everything that's going to happen throughout the duration of the track day. And one thing I'm going to go ahead and tell all of you now that I know none of you are going to like. For all you novice drivers, for everybody that has 1 to 6 track days, when they talk about passing, you're only going to be able to pass on the straight, or basically whenever and wherever the track is straight. So for those of you who watch my videos and see me passing basically anywhere I want to, that's not going to be you at first. And the reason why they want you guys only to pass on the straights is because it's a heck of a lot easier, and no offense to anybody, you really don't know what you're doing. And that's basically why they want everybody who has less than 6 track days to only pass other cars on the straights, because it's easier. Now, once the driver meeting is over, for everybody who's novice, four events or under, you're going to meet up with your instructor. Now, this is where you guys can get familiar with each other, get to know everybody's name. You can tell them what car you're driving, but more importantly, and I'm going to tell you why here in a couple of minutes, find out where your instructor is parked. Understand and know where he's parked at, what car he drives. This is going to come in handy here in a couple of minutes. Now, after the driving meeting is over, after you've met up with your instructor, now comes the classroom session. That's right, everybody. You're going to be going to class. Now, depending on what event host you use, your classroom session will last anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, and you will always have 2 of them. Now, in the classroom session, they're going to give you a brief refresh of everything that they talked about in the driver's meeting. Once they're done with that, they're going to show you some DVDs, and they're going to show you some movies, and they're going to have some class participation, and they want everybody to understand exactly what they're about to embark on. Now, they're going to tell you everything from the hot spots to the fast spots to the dangerous spots to where the track workers are at, so on and so forth, just to give you a brief view of what you're about to do. Now, once you're done with that, once you're done with your classroom, 9 times out of 10 within the next 5 to 15 minutes, it will be your first session on the track. Now, remember a couple of minutes ago when I said, after the driver's meeting, when you meet up with your instructor, that you want to make sure where he's parked at? This is why. Once you're done with your classroom session, get back to your car as quickly as you can. Get your helmet on, get your gloves on, get ready to go. Once you're ready to go, go over to wherever your instructor is parked at. Get him in the car and get to the staging area as quickly as possible. Why? Because everybody, keep this in mind. It doesn't matter if you're a novice. It does not matter if you're an advanced. The cars out in front are always going the fastest. So if you want to be out there with no cars in front of you, if you don't want any traffic, if you don't want to be going slow when you think you could be going faster, get your instructor into your car and get to the staging area as quickly as you can. Because remember, the cars out front are always going the fast. And keep in mind, if your instructor gives you crap, if your instructor says you need to wait, or if your instructor says anything other than okay, keep in mind this very important thing. You are not there for him. He is there for you. So if you want to get on the track, tell his ass to get in the freaking car and get your butt on the track. Now let's go ahead and talk about your first session. Now, your first session will be nothing more than a glorified sighting lab. Now, this is where your instructor is going to take you out on the course to get you familiar with the layout of the course. They're going to get you familiar with where your track-in spots, where you track out, your driving line, your braking zones, the flag station, so on and so forth. Because everybody, please keep in mind, your first session is not about going out there and hauling ass and ripping up the track. Because the thing that you need to do first is remember the layout of the track. Because everybody, please keep in mind, there are no signs around the track that tells you, oh, there's an upcoming chicane, or there's a hard left or a hard right. You have to memorize the track first before you can actually go out there and start hauling ass. Now, once you're done with your first session, come back to your parking space, pop open your hood, leave your engine running, let it run for a good maybe 4 to 7 minutes. After that, go ahead and check your tire pressure. Don't do anything with your lug nuts yet, but leave your engine running, check your tire pressure. Once everything is done, go ahead and shut everything off because you're going to have a second classroom session. Now, the second classroom session will be something similar to the first, but they're going to start going a little bit more in depth, a little bit more focus driven of exactly what you guys are doing, where everything is at. Now, chances are, if your event host is good, like the ones that I use, they will actually be showing you guys videos of the Novice run group of some danger spots, some hot zones, just so you guys can see exactly what you're doing when you guys went out there for your second session. Now, after your second session is over, you want to do the same thing that you did after your first classroom session is over. But before you get everything ready, go ahead and torque down your lug nuts. Once everything is done with your lug nuts, get on your helmet, get everything on, find your instructor, tell him to get in the car, and again, get back to the staging area as quickly as you can because, again, like I said before, the cars out front are always going the fastest. Now, once you're done with that, when your second session comes, now you're going to be able to start pushing a little bit harder. Now you're going to start being able to go a little bit faster, a little bit harder, a little bit quicker. But here's the most important thing. Never drive past your comfort level. If you only feel comfortable doing 90 miles an hour and everybody else is doing 120 miles an hour, don't mind them because remember, it's not a race, it's not a competition. You go out there and you do you. Once you're done with your second session, chances are lunch is going to happen. And after lunch, everything that happened after the second session repeats. You don't have any more classroom sessions. You don't have anything else you need to do. The only thing that you need to do is of course, keep your engine cool, keep your tire pressure where it's supposed to be, and make sure your lug nuts are tight. Other than that, I hope everybody, when they go to their first track day, they have the best experience that they could possibly have, because chances are, if you go there with an open mind, realizing that you're not the man, that you're not the best, that you need some work, that is the best thing anybody going to a track day can realize, because once you realize you need some work, once you realize you need to get better, that's what makes track days fun, because everybody out there is all trying to do the same thing. Make sure they were better than they were on the previous lap. But I hope everybody enjoyed this video. If there's anybody out there who has any questions, comments, maybe I didn't hit something that you guys would like to know about, go ahead and leave everything in the comment section. But I hope everybody enjoyed this vid. I hope everybody's having a bomb-ass day and everybody stay tuned for that new upload.